Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, about 5 months since I've posted anything, and I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I know better late than never, and now's probably a really crucial time to get this information out to you guys, because you'll all be planning your trips ahead for the summer of 2023. So it's been about 5 months. I did the Tour Du Mont Blanc in 7 days at the back end of August last year in 2022. Today is the 14th of January 2023. So Happy New Year to you all. And it's an exciting time. I'm sure you're all getting really psyched about going away to whether you start in Chamonix or Courmayeur or La Folie or wherever you may start. But when you're planning for your journey, it's really crucial. I mean, I watched extensively many people on YouTube that really supported me in my planning for my packing before I did the tour last year. So I would like to help you guys in the same way, and hopefully you find it useful. I'm gonna link everything in the description below for so I've got my what's it called, lighterpack.com description list, and it gives you all the weights of everything that I took, including the items of clothing that I was wearing, and then I'll also link some places where you can purchase those items. There are a couple of items that I've got missing. For example, I can't find a pair of boxer shorts. I don't know where they've gone, so I've substituted them. My buff also I left in my mate's van a couple of weeks ago when I did a 10-mile race over in Staplehurst, so I'll have to go without that today, but I did wear that all the time, so that's an essential bit of kit, but I'll come on to that. So without further ado, I'll take you through everything, and then I can also show you how I packed it, and hopefully that helps. So the first item, the essential piece of kit that I took, was the RAB Aeon Ultra 28 litre lightweight backpack. So this is like a fast packing backpack with the reason for it fits very snug to the body, and you do have like a waist belt here for extra storage, so there's a zip either side, and the straps then connect together, and then on each shoulder you've then got bottle holders, so I took soft flasks that literally just, yeah, they stick in there quite nicely, and that was really useful. So like many people will take bladders, you know, but I found that taking the soft flasks was absolutely fine. Yeah, so that's 28 litres. Now this is not a waterproof pack, but it's a roll top, weather sealed pack. So what I did is I then used a dry bag inside to keep everything in for that extra bit of protection, but I'll show you the dry bag in a bit. And then the great thing about this pack is it's got this like mesh at the front, which you can literally stuff, and it stretches a hell of a long way. So I literally stuffed, you know, like a jacket or food or poles, whatever needs to be on the outside, really quick access. I was very fortunate to have superb weather the entire time, pretty much. I had about an hour of rain the whole tour, but I was ready if things were going to turn to the worst. And then on each of the sides there's like dump pockets that are also mesh for water bottles, food, and you can also access them through another opening in the back there. So yeah, the RAB Aeon, it's a bit of a mouthful, the RAB Aeon Ultra 28 litre lightweight backpack. So that was a game changer for 7 days. The next couple of items, so I took 2 t-shirts. These are the Sonic tees. So they're really lightweight material. They're like odor free. So the good thing is, I mean, obviously sweating quite a lot day in day out on the tour for 7 days, things could potentially get a little bit smelly. These didn't whatsoever. They were absolutely great. So what I did is I wore one set, and then when I used to arrive at the refuge or hotel, I would hand wash with shower gel from the hotel or refuge, and then hang out to dry, and then I would wear that in the morning, and I would always change into a clean set when I arrived in the evening after a long day hike. So yeah, 2 tees and then 2 shorts. So these are the Rab Tailless Active Shorts 7-inch. They're really nice, lightweight. Again, they've got a zip on the back, like a little dump pocket there, for, you know, a gel or nuts or a bar or whatever. And they excuse me, they were absolutely fine for the tour. What's next? I took the Montane Proteum fleece hoodie. So this is pretty much what I wore in the evening, because it sometimes does get a little bit chilly depending on where you are, what altitude. Like for example, I went to Robert Blanc on one of the variants, and that got pretty chilly at night, so this was absolutely fine. It's like a micro fleece that kept me nice and warm. So yeah, I recommend that. Waterproof jacket. I then took the Montane Fleet Gore-Tex jacket. This is last season. This is the 2022 season jacket. Montane have now launched a new collection of jackets with different names. So I think the replacement to this one is the Phase. But anyway, this was great. It doesn't come with a stuff sack because it's a little bit more of a harder shell. So I used a small packing cube to just keep that in for when it was like stuffed in my bag and not raining, because I only wore it a couple of times. But yeah, that's great. Okay, and then on to socks. So I took 2 pairs of merino wool. What are they? They were the Hilly Trail Quarter Medium Cushioning sock. Again, I'll put the link in the description below. These are not them, by the way. They're in the wash, so I just substituted them for these ones. So 2 pairs of running socks, which, yeah, merino wool again, game changer material for underwear, base layers, you know, because it's odorless, so you can get away with not washing it for quite a few days, and you won't be chucking up a smell, so that's good. So yeah, 2 pairs of socks, which I again rotated. I would wash one and wear the other. In the evening, I would either put on depending on again the altitude I was at. These are the Salomon Merino hiking sock, which kept me warm. For example, on the first night, my first stage, I went from Chamonix all the way through to Dila, so past Les Contamines, and it was wet and cold and miserable. And I just wore it, and I didn't have any flip-flops. Like some people take flip-flops or Crocs. I didn't want to. I wanted to save that space. I thought that the refuge would have Crocs there. They didn't, so I just literally wore these around barefoot, and they got a little bit damp, but that's all right. And then I took a pair of these Hilly Pulse compression socks. These were a lifesaver. because on the first day or two, of course, you've got heaps of energy. You know, I was questioning, oh, why did I bring poles? I don't need poles. Like, my legs are absolutely fine. I'm really strong. It catches up with you, and I ended up. My intention was to use these compression socks for recovery in the evenings, but I ended up wearing them the majority of the time after about 2 or 3 days, I think. And they really helped support when my legs felt really fatigued. They alleviated the issue there. So, along with some ibuprofen, but yeah, they were excellent. So I think I started wearing them from Courmayeur onwards. So yeah, about a third of the way around. Excellent sock. And then boxer shorts. So as I said, I've got one missing, so I've just substituted that. But these are the Icebreaker merino wool boxer, and yeah, they were great, and they again, they didn't smell. So I took 2 pairs of them, again rotated. Buff. So I took a merino wool buff. This was a game-changing piece of kit. I didn't take a hat, so originally I planned to take a hat and gloves just in case it would get chilly at night times and mornings. But I took a buff, and I think you can see from literally the first episode when I was hiking, when I started after Le Houge, it was, the sun was beating down on me. It was I was really sweaty. And at first I just used the buff to use as a headband to stop the sweat from going in my eyes, because it was just like I was just continuously dripping. So the salt was getting in my eyes. It was really sore. So that was. But then I pretty much wore the buff either like to protect my head from the sun. Like I said earlier, the weather was absolutely brilliant. So when the sun's beating down on you, yeah, you really have to protect your head. So I did. Many people take caps. I didn't take a cap. I just literally took the buff, and it was either around my neck or on my head. Brilliant. Gloves. I took the Montaigne Via Trail glove. They're like a thin running glove. I think I wore them a couple of times. Not. Yeah. I didn't really need them. I probably could have left them behind, but yeah, as I say, now and then. I think on the first night maybe I used them, and that was it. The Rab Vital jacket. So this is the Rab Vital jacket. It's great because it's like a windstopper. It stuffs in its own pocket. So this is like a chest pocket. You zip that up. And yeah, it's pretty good windbreaker. I wore that. I think I wore that after. I think it was Refuge Alina. Is that going over Grand Colferay? I think maybe hiking up to Grand Colferay. It's pretty windy that day, so that helped. Having said that, I probably could have left that behind and just taken my rain jacket, because that's also Gore-Tex and a good windstopper. So is it really necessary that I took both? Probably not. Yeah, I would say this one would win, and that one can be left behind. So that was that. So what's next? The Berghaus Deluge waterproof over trouser. I've had these for absolutely years, and I didn't wear them. They are an essential piece of kit. Obviously, if the weather had turned really bad, then you know, I would have been ready for it. But I was fortunate enough not to have to get them out, so I just kept them again in a little Osprey packing cube. that was good. Okay, base layer top. So I took the, again, merino wool. These are Helly Hansen leaf merino lightweight base layers. So there's the top and there are the bottoms. These were really good to sleep in. The refuges, I would say, after I stayed at the refuges, when you're in hotels, it's not really necessary that the hotels are warm. You're at lower altitude, like for example in Contamines-Montjoie, or I stayed in a hotel in Levici. I just had a good night's sleep in a bed. Whereas if you're staying in bunk beds in the dormitories, then yeah, they're pretty necessary. And then what I would sleep in, this is, well, they say it's mandatory. Having said that, when I went to Refuge de la Balme, you must use a sleeping bag liner. This is the Rab Silk Traveller sleeping bag liner. So nice and compact. However, when I went to Robert Blanc Refuge, we didn't need a sleeping bag liner. That they cleaned all the bedding. In fact, when we arrived, well, when I arrived, and then I met some other hikers there, that they were the hosts were washing all and drying all the bedding. So out on the decking. So yeah, that is, you do need one, but it's not essential for the entire trip. My other shoes, so shoes wise, I'm still part of the Tour Du Mont Blanc Facebook group, and constantly there are questions in the group: should you wear trail running shoes or should you wear hiking boots? Honestly, that is personal preference. If you feel that you need ankle support, then get yourself a pair of good hiking boots. I was under a bit of a dilemma as well, but before the Tour du Mont Blanc I got quite into doing a little bit of running, 5Ks, 10Ks, that kind of thing, and long distance hiking, walking. So I turned to trail running shoes, and I can honestly say they're a bit of a game changer for me. I've got a couple of really good friends that are into mountain running, and they were always encouraging me, get some trail running shoes, you know, they're the life changer, and that's what I've done. It's actually become a little bit of an obsession, and a bit of an unhealthy obsession, because I've probably purchased in the past 9 months about, or maybe 10 months, about 6 pairs of trail running shoes. So anyway, that aside, these are not the ones that I took. I took the Speedgoat, the Hoka Speedgoat 5. The Hoka Speedgoat, I bought 2 pairs of Hoka Speedgoat 5s last year. The reason why I bought the second pair is because I had used the first pair quite a lot, and the lugs had started to wear away, and I thought, right, I want some fresh lugs for the trail. So I bought myself a brand new pair just before I went to the Tour du Mont Blanc, and I absolutely love them. I had no issues with blisters. You know, that can happen quite a lot with wearing hiking boots. They were very comfortable. Even, you know, like I would hike all day, and then perhaps in the evening, like for example when I went to Contamines-Montjoie, I had to go out in the evening to go and you know, eat and grab myself a drink as well. So I walked into town, because it was about a 15-minute walk I think from where I stayed, and my feet were absolutely fine. So whereas I have experienced in the past where I've worn hiking boots all day, I just don't want them anywhere near me in the evening once I've completed the activity. So these were absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so I wore the Speedgoat 5, These are actually the Tecton X's. The reason why I'm not showing you the Speedgoat 5 is because I wore them to parkrun this morning, and it is a very rainy, wet, cold January day, and they're absolutely filthy. So anyway, so that is what I wore on my shoes, my feet. Sunglasses, a pair of Oakley, what are these? Oakley half jacket, yeah. Essential bit of kit, because if you're as lucky as I was, it was sunny pretty much all the time. Microfiber towel. This is a Life Venture microfiber towel. You need these in refuge, obviously not in hotels because hotels provide the towels, but yeah, that was required, so I used that on and off throughout the tour. This was really good. So I bought this off of Amazon. This is a I can't even pronounce it. Joy Mix, I think it is. Joy Mix plug adapter. It's a worldwide plug adapter. So you can go to any country, and if on the side it's got EU, UK, USA, and Australasia sign. So you've got your 2-pin. There's a button on the other side which then sets that back. There's your UK 3-pin, and then there's your USA 2-pin as well. It also has a USB 3, yeah, USB 3 input, and then 3 USB inputs there as well. So, you know, if you need to take your charging cable for your phone, there's no need to take all the additional plugs. That just does it all. So, really great bit of kit, and it put it in that little nice case. I took my wallet. So this is a Osprey Quick Lock RFID protected wallet. Sorry, my GoPro cut out, so I had to wait for it to cool down. Yeah, so where was I? I took this Osprey wallet with all my credit cards in and cash. You need cash for the refuges generally. In Italy it's a bit better, but yeah, don't forget to take some euros. I think in Switzerland they accept euros as well, so no problems there. But I would say probably at 80% I actually use contactless with my mobile phone, so not too many worries there. What's next? I took this Squirrel's Nut Butter Anti-Chafing Cream. I am glad to say that I didn't need to use it, but it's worth taking some of that just in case, because you're spending a long time on the trails and these things happen. So yeah, I would take some along. Toiletry bag. So this is well, and it's got the contents in there as well, but this is the Osprey Washbag carry-on. So it's nice and transparent for carry-on through the airports. And then I just took a shower gel. I think I took a shower gel that's missing from here actually. Shower gel, conditioner, shampoo, toothbrush, and travel toothpaste. And then in there as well is my sun protection sunscreen. So, but I don't think I kept that in there at the time. That was more easy access. I think I might have kept that on the outside in the mesh on the lightweight pack. What is next? So, sleeping mask. I took a sleeping mask. I wore this in the refuges, along with some Q's earplugs, which again, if you're going to stay in dormitories with a load of other people, they tend to be mixed storms, you get some snorers. So I experienced that, especially on the first night. It was ridiculous. I think I shared the story in my first or second episode. But yeah, they're essential, and so is the sleeping mask. In the hotels, I didn't need to use that at all. Power bank. So I took an Anchor power bank. I think this is a 20 milliamp battery. Arguably, you could probably get away with not taking one of these. They're quite weighty. I think I used it a couple of times maybe, but because during the day you hike from A to B, right? And then when you get to the refuge or hotel, you have power. With the travel adapter, and then putting all my cables in, charging up, like in the refuges and hotels, I was charging all my kit. So every morning when I would leave the refuge or hotel, all of my electronics were powered. And I didn't, the batteries lasted long enough. I mean, like with the GoPro, I also took 2 spare batteries as well. And the phone, you don't really get much phone signal. So apart from taking pictures and every now and again when you take a rest and check your phone, then you know, you're going to use a bit of battery, but you get a good day use out of a mobile phone nowadays anyway, right? So yeah, with that, I mean that battery pack is 486 grams. I can't emphasize enough how crucial every gram matters. So if you can save yourself 486 grams by not taking a power bank, I would recommend it probably, and just go with charging up your kit in the evenings. So yeah, anyway, but I always travel with a power bank anyway. They are a good bit of kit. What is next? Headphones. Again, so headphones, I had this great idea before I left to go and do the Tour Du Mont Blanc. I loaded up my mobile with a load of audiobooks, a huge playlist of loads, because I think, oh, I'm going to be on the trails for hours and hours. I'm going to get so bored. I'm going to need to listen to some content. I can honestly say, I think I used my headphones once, and that was the descent from when I was descending down into Contamines-Montjoie, and I listened to a little bit of music. Other than that, I mean, yeah, again, that's personal preference. I probably could have got away with not taking them, because I just enjoyed the experience of meeting people, living in the moment. You know, I mean, quite often you're never really alone. There were times where, yeah, okay, fine, you'd go, maybe I'd go an hour, 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours at times being alone. But in general, whoever you pass, you say bonjour, buongiorno, hello, how you doing, how's your day going, have a little chat, where you been, what you doing, where you going, and the connections are vital. So yeah, keeping yourself secluded in a world of audiobooks and disconnection, you know, maybe that they get, like I say, that's a personal preference, but for me, it wasn't essential that I have my headphones. Okay, what's next? Yeah, so I took the dual GoPro charger and batteries, which was good. So, you know, if I did need backup, then I could swap them. But I also took this GoPro lanyard. I'm actually recording today on GoPro Hero 11. Last year I had the GoPro Hero 10, and I had the GoPro, what's it called? the shorty tripod. So it's basically a selfie stick, so it extends, but it does have 3 legs that it can turn itself into a tripod. So that was a really handy bit of kit. But what this lanyard's for is actually wearing the GoPro around your neck and then, you know, using it like that. I don't think I used it. I think I just kept it on the shorty tripod and used that the majority of the time, and that was just going into the quick access pockets. I think I may have worn it on the front or into the grab pocket at the back. So again, probably a piece of kit that I could have lived without. Not that it's that heavy, weighing in at I don't know, 32 grams, but anyway, it all counts. Another really essential piece of kit for the nights, especially in the refuges, is I had a headlamp. So this is a Petzl Takina headlamp. So yeah, really good for, especially in dormitories, when you're climbing around, rummaging around in the dark, trying to find your stuff in all the stuff bags and dry bags and backpacks and you name it. So yeah, a good bit of kit. Of course, you have majority of you that are preparing for this will have a torch on your mobile phone as well, which I did use, but yeah, the head torch comes in handy. Okay, so water. I think I did share quite a lot of information about this in one of my episodes. I took 2 500ml soft flasks, so I carried a litre. I've seen many people on YouTube that have taken 2 litre, 3 litre camelbacks, or you know, or bigger bottles. You don't need it. You really don't need that amount of water. It's heavy, and there is such a regular supply of water source on the trail. You never go really more than, you know, a couple of hours without coming across another river or refuge or bar or town, you know, or fountain that you can fill up in. I took, so this is the Montaigne soft flask, and this is the Salomon's soft flask. So yeah, this soft flask XA filter. The Salomon version has this XA filter in it, which I used from streams. You know, like sometimes I was drinking glacier water, so I'd fill up, and then I'd pop that in there, and then when you suck out, it filters through there, and I had absolutely no problems whatsoever. So, and you know, the water's free, right? So yeah, there's no point in spending more money on buying additional water from the supermarket or the convenience store. It's yeah, when you can just supply yourself from the natural sources around you. So they were absolutely fine. I don't think I was ever completely out of water, so I'd always have at least 500ml after having 500ml, you know, and always refill when I get to the next stop. So a litre was absolutely fine for me. Okay, I mentioned earlier I took, so the pack that I took is 28 litre, but I took inside my bag, I took this 20 litre Sea to Summit dry bag. So I'll show you in a minute, but I put all that into packing cubes because I've got a bit of an obsession with packing cubes as well. So all the organisation, stuffed it all in there in usage order. So, you know, if I've needed stuff, well, stuff I didn't need so much, then I would obviously pack at the bottom and work my way up. But essentially I could just pour it all out. It's all out on my bunk bed or bed in the hotel, and quickly access what I need and then pack it all back in. That then rolls down, clips together, and everything is watertight. So that was that. And then for my electronics, I also took this 12-litre Osprey dry bag. So yeah, I kept that separate. It was also in the main dry bag, but yeah, that was just for my gadgets like batteries and power bank and that kind of thing. So that was useful. So I took 3 Osprey large packing cubes. They were colour coordinated as well, so I've got a lime green, I've got kind of like a bluey colour, and then a dark green colour here. So I think I had my evening wear in one, I had my day wear in another, and maybe I had like laundry in another. I can't quite remember. I took 2 mediums, and that they held the jacket and hoodie. And then I took 2 Osprey small packing cubes, which I think that was for the waterproof trousers and towel. I took my dry, because I lost my dry towel case, so I just keep it in one of them now. What else? Yeah, the GoPro I've already touched on. I'm recording on that now, so I did take a GoPro Hero 10 with shorty stick. However, now I've upgraded to the Hero 11, which has got the Creator edition. So it's got the microphone, the lamp, and the Creator selfie stick, which is battery powered. So that will give me a lot more power. So that's great. So that would be for the next adventure. I took Carmex lip seal, which is SPF 15, so lips got considerably dry in the sun, and with some of the dehydration as well sometimes. That was essential. What else? My iPhone 13 Pro and quick lock case. I took, this isn't it, I had a Phoenix 6 before, no, I had a Phoenix 5 before. I upgraded at the end of last year. I've now got the Garmin Phoenix 7 titanium, but yeah, at the time I had the Garmin Phoenix 5 smartwatch, which was good. The reason why I upgraded to the Phoenix 7 is the map capability is much better than the 5. So yeah, the 5 is a couple of generations, I think it's about 3 years old, that model now, whereas the 7 is the latest edition. So this is a great purchase to have a good, so when it came to navigation, I had cross-referencing on all 3 things. So I had maps loaded onto my watch, I had maps loaded onto my mobile phone, and then of course I have sometimes people would share like their paper version of the map, and then you've got the signposts. So it's pretty difficult to get lost. Having said that, I did nearly get lost a couple of times. Poles. These aren't the poles that I took. I borrowed my mate's poles. So what ones did he have? I borrowed my mate's Black Diamond Distant Z poles. However, these are Lecky poles that they were just too expensive to fly out, because you have to declare them as a sports equipment with the airline I was flying with. So it was going to cost me like £90 to take a pair of £120 poles. It just didn't make sense. So anyway, but poles absolutely essential again. I get a lot of questions about, oh, do you really need poles? Yes. On a multi-day hike like the Tour Du Mont Blanc, your legs get really tired. Ugh. my battery keeps overheating with my GoPro, which is annoying. So this is the third take. I was talking about the poles. So yeah, the argument is that do you or don't you need poles? My recommendation is yes, you do. Apparently it saves 30% energy in your legs. Obviously it also saved me a couple of times from rolling my ankle because I was wearing the trail runners. So yeah, they do come in handy. They can be a little bit fiddly sometimes. You have to sort of wear them on your pack or around you or across you, or you know, here on your pack, or you know, if you've got a quiver, you can put them in the back. But anyway, they are still a great bit of kit and lightweight. These are carbon fibre ones. I think my friend's versions that I took were aluminium, but they were still pretty light. So finally, athlete's foot powder, which I took a 75 gram tub. I suffer from athlete's foot, especially in the hotter months, and I think, well, did I use this? I don't think I used it. Maybe I did a couple of times. So antifungal foot powder, because the feet go through absolute hell. So yeah, I recommend that. And that is it. That is what I took for 7 days on the Tour du Mont Blanc. So what we do now is I'm going to pack it all up, put it in a bag, so you can see how I pack my kit. So there you have it, all of my stuff in a Sea to Summit 20 litre dry bag. I kept my waterproof separate in this medium size Osprey packing cube. Just, yeah, quick access. Maybe it was in the outside or the top of my pack on the inside. But yeah, I literally pop that in there, pop that on there. I then sort of get the air out a little bit, bring it, clip it like this. Clip it like this, and then yeah, water filled each side, either like that, and then poles were kept either on me in front, or I just literally stuffed them in the bag like that. So yeah, I kept my Carmex in one of my little front pockets. I think it was like in the pouch around the waist, so I could just pop that on as and when I needed. And then the sunnies wore on my head, and that's it. That is what I took. Really nice weight. In fact, before I did the Tour du Mont Blanc, I had a couple of friends in Chamonix that had just done it, and they were like, yeah, get rid of your first aid kit. So I ditched that. I didn't take my hat, as I said before. Yeah, a couple of I was going to take 3 items of clothing, so like 3 shorts, 3 tops. I only did 2. So yeah, I shaved off a bit of weight there. The other thing I really love about this pack is because it's roll top and 28 litre, so all of my kit fits in the dry bag of 20 litres, and then there's loads of room at the top. So I had packed lunches, for example, on some days from the refuges or hotels, so I could keep that in there, and I kept some of the other snacks that I picked up along the way in some of the other pockets. But yeah, still loads of space in there, so arguably I could have probably got away with a 25 litre pack or a 22 litre pack, but the great thing about the 28 Aeon Ultra Rab lightweight pack is you can just condense it down, keep rolling it, and once you tighten up these straps, it condenses down into a much smaller pack anyway. So I was really happy with that. My total weight, and this is including what I wore at the time as well, so this is including trainers, shorts, top, t-shirt, buff, total weight me on the Tour du Mont Blanc was 6.78 kilograms, so under sub 7 kilograms. I think that's a pretty good weight, considering, you know, like those that camp, they are obviously having to carry a lot more weight with sleeping systems, you know, roll mattresses or air mattresses, tents, and so on. So with such a light weight, I think that significantly helped me. I wouldn't have wanted to carry it any longer with more weight. How I did prepare, a few weeks before I went out to the Tour du Mont Blanc, I was going out for, you know, 5 hours a day on a Saturday or Sunday, wearing my pack, conditioning my body, getting myself ready to wear this on a multi-day hike, because I haven't really done any multi-day hiking before. So that's another recommendation, is condition your body before you attack the adventure, because you need to prepare yourself for that. So I'm not sure how long this video is. What I would like to say is thank you for all of those that subscribed and followed my adventure along the way. Thank you for all the donations. I did the whole of the Tour du Mont Blanc in support of Alzheimer's Research UK, so I will also put the link in the description below. I think you can still donate, in fact. So I told the story in my first episode about my aunty, who thankfully is been given medication and she's a lot more stable now. But yeah, Alzheimer's is not pleasant, and I'm sure many of you out there have experienced a member of your family that suffers from that condition as well. So yeah, it's a charity that's very close to my heart. So what's up next? I have an adventure booked at the end of February next month, 2023, and I'm going to be heading to Colombia for 11 days backpacking. So I'm definitely going to be vlogging about that trip. So like and subscribe, and watch out for that adventure. That's not going to be a multi-day hike. That's going to be more just backpacking around the country, and yeah, seeing what Colombia is all about. And then in June I may be heading to, well, there's 3 options for June. There may be either the AV1 multi-day hike in the Dolomites, there may be the GR20 Corsica multi-day hike in France, or there may be Mount Toubkal in Morocco. So one of the 3. I'm just juggling up which one to do. So I'm currently doing my research, reading books and watching YouTube channels, and yeah, finding out about that stuff. Later on in the year, for the UTMB week, I'm heading out to Chamonix again. I'm going to do a couple of So, yeah, I'll probably be doing a few days out, not the whole of the Tour du Mont Blanc again, but just doing some day hikes from Chamonix, heading over to Courmayeur as well. Bit of a loose plan, so yeah, watch this space. I'm probably going to be putting my tent box that I've got on my car onto my mate's camper van. He's going to go out there for a couple of weeks. He's actually Grant, who was in the last episode of the Tour du Mont Blanc. He is running in one of the UTMB races from Courmayeur back to Chamonix on the 31st of August, so going to go out and support him for that. And my other friend Kevin, he's also running in one of the other races on the 31st of August, so it's going to be a really good week. So I'm sure I'll be recording some more action out there. So and then yeah, maybe some other stuff in the UK as well, but definitely want to be growing this channel. So thank you for your support, and I hope to catch up with you all soon. Cheers, bye.